Jonna. It may seem strange to think of gardens as a habitat for wildlife, but many animals are opportunists and learn to live close to people because they find food and shelter. Apart from trees and flowers, large public gardens often contain mini habitats like ponds and rubble walls. Unless manicured to an extreme and rigorously sprayed with pesticides and herbicides, private gardens too can host wildlife. So look out for the beasts in your green patch. Adding things like bird tables and bird baths, and choosing plants that produce nectar-rich flowers or juicy berries will enrich your garden wildlife. Maltese wall lizard, Kremshula. The Maltese wall lizard is endemic to Malta. In other words, it is found nowhere else on Earth. The females are brown, while males carry the colour yellow throat and emerald green back, often speckled with black. Lizards are easy to watch. Early morning sunning on a stone or a wall, males fighting over territory. In spring, scouting around for ants and other small insects. In recent years, lizards are becoming less common in some parts of the countryside and more common in gardens, possibly because there are more flies to eat, although domestic cats kill a great many of them. The ability of lizards to drop their tail is not a hobby they enjoy doing, but a painful, last-ditch defense trick to escape predators. Sardinian warbler, Bufula sewda. This is a year-round resident bird whose numbers have increased in Malta, also thanks to gardens. Although small, the Sardinian warbler can make its presence felt very well, especially in spring and summer when it is nesting and vigorously defending its little territory. If you're in a garden and hear a scolding staccato coming from a shrub, that would be a Sardinian warbler asking you to back off its patch. It very probably has a nest or chicks nearby. Sardinian warblers have grown quite used to people and often visit bird tables, especially in winter when insects are harder to find. Common starling, Sturnell. Starlings visit our island in autumn, and many stay here for the winter. They are gregarious birds, staying in groups sometimes over 1,000 strong. This keeps them safe from predators. Public gardens often have olive trees or tall Norfolk Island pines, Auricaria, which is good news for starlings, as olives provide food and the pines a good place to sleep. Starlings are noisy birds, and they can also imitate other birds. So if one day you hear a hen clucking from a tree in a public garden, don't be alarmed. It's probably a starling. Red Admiral, Farfet al-Hurri. Gardens are often planted with flowering bushes, and flowers attract butterflies. Butterflies can only drink, which they do by thrusting their tube-like tongue into flowers to gorge on the sweet nectar, after which they roll their tongue back neatly. Butterflies are an important part of food chains, as they and their caterpillars are around in spring and summer when birds need juicy insects to feed their young. As the Maltese name implies, the caterpillar of the Red Admiral feeds on nettle leaves. So if you are weeding your garden this winter, remember the Red Admiral and leave a little patch of nettles for his kids. Dragonfly, mozzarella. Public gardens often have ponds, and ponds are great for dragonflies. You can see red, blue, violet, green, orange, yellow, and brown dragonflies, flying and hovering near ponds for two reasons: feeding and egg laying. Dragonflies often feed by cupping their hairy legs together to form a sort of net, in which they catch small insects as they zoom around on their four strong wings. Near standing water, there are always plenty of insects like mosquitoes, which are excellent snacks for dragonflies. Dragonflies also need water to breed. Females dip their abdomen in the water and lay eggs. Dragonfly larvae live underwater and feed on small water creatures such as mosquito larvae, sometimes even tadpoles. Gecko, Wizza. Reptiles have the misfortune of being the subject of many phobias and myths, and geckos are no exception. Their warty skin, bulging eyes, and nocturnal habits have generated a lot of old wives' tales, none of which are true. In reality, geckos are fascinating climbers, with special pads on their feet that let them climb vertical walls and even run upside down across ceilings, hoovering up flies, moths, silverfish, kamla, spiders, and mosquitoes as they go. They do this cleaning job all night long, and free of charge, and all they ask of us is to let them live in peace. If you stroll through a garden close by a wall on a summer evening, listen for their creaky mating calls, which sound like tiny barks.